Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sedona Psychics podcast here at the Crystal Magic Psychic Center here in West Sedona. I am here today with myself, MA. I also have my two other fabulous co-hosts here,
Hey guys, I'm Relly. I'm Jeffrey.
and we're all here today to go over um, client and reader etiquette for psychic readings, energy work, and things like that as well. Because the world is waking up the way it is, everybody should be aware on how to kind of prepare for a reading with a psychic, whether you've done this before, whether it's your first time, anything like that. So we're all going to kind of put in our information that we know from experience as well. We're also going to kind of reintroduce ourselves also, and let you guys know that we do this for a living, so we know. So I'm MA. I'm a psychic reader here. I'm also the manager here at the Magic Psychic Center. My specialties are tarot, oracle. I also do cord cuttings with candles and string. I also do other things as far as bone casting and working with algae rods as well. I also do mediumship, so I do connect with loved ones. We have crossed over to the other side, including spirit guides and animals as well. So, Jeffrey, what do you do here?
I am one of the psychic readers here. I've been at the center for over 4 years now, but I've been doing psychic therapies ever since I was very young. In junior high, I actually started doing psychic skateboard readings in a ball parking lot by my house. I don't do psychic skateboard readings anymore. Now I work a lot with rocks and crystals. I do a lot of crystal casting, crystal readings. I also do past life recall. I do palmistry. I work with tarot oracle cards. I teach people a lot about manifestation and law of attraction and opening people in a way to get up to their psychic and backup gifts. Like this is how you can start developing these skills. This is how you can start your spiritual journey and start your own. So that's a lot of what I do here. It's like
Nice, nice. Mike, how about you?
So I wear a couple different hats here. So I do readings, and when I do my readings, I really like working with readings. That's kind of my favorite tool to work with. Although I also use tarot and oracle cards. I do some work with shamanic techniques and cosmic practices. I do sound healing, Reiki. But I'm also up at the front a lot. I'm one of the concierges here at Psychic Center. So I end up talking to a lot of people and kind of helping them figure out what type of reading they want. So I think this episode really for me is like how you guys can get the most out of your reading, right? What can you do before you come in to get a psychic reading to prepare to get the most out of it? Because I think it is, it's a lot, how you prepare mentally and how open you are has a lot to do with your experience. So.
Right, right. Also, I'm going to kind of reiterate to everybody here. If you hear us ever calling each other two different names, it's because a lot of us use a different name to work our magic under, and then we also have our, born given names as well. So just to let you know, we're not crazy and just calling each other different names.
I think we're a little crazy.
Right. You can't be normal, right?
I know.
Nobody here is Tampa. Nobody here is plain unflavored yogurt. I mean both.
I also tend to think about it like alter ego a little bit in a way. It's, Spider-Man had Peter Parker, right?
Yeah,
Superman had
yeah.
Clark Kent.
Now you
So,
make me feel like I'm a superhero.
yeah,
What I
that's,
do.
I mean, that's,
We do some pretty super stuff around here. Like things do get weird. For
Yeah.
sure. But also like things can like just be kind of very casual, very lifting, very light.
Mhm.
It's just like when you come into the psychic center here for a reading, like, you get out of this and what you put into it and how you get there for it. But you can also just kind of like, I don't know why I'm here. Like I am totally just drawn to be here.
Right.
Get
Yeah.
it? But that is totally fine too. Like we're all professionals here and you can work with whatever you're coming in with.
Right.
But one of the things it's like when someone comes in and actually really knows how to like work with the room and use the energy, very different.
Yes, 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 yes. So kind of going into it, why this episode is coming up is again, one, the world's waking up. And we are seeing it every single day. We are having people who are coming in from really like hardcore Christian backgrounds or very religious backgrounds who are like, this doesn't feel right anymore. I'm being drawn to open up spiritually. I don't know where to start, blah, 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 blah. So we are here to help you with that. So etiquette matters because if you come walking into a psychic reading and you have your walls up of pretty much this attitude of like, you need to prove to me you're psychic. Honey, we don't got to prove nothing to you. You came to us for a reason. Trust that reason, and we'll give you the message that needs to come through. There's a lot of times too where people come in with like expectations of like, oh, I need to hear this. I need to hear that. Well, guess what? That's not always the case.
Yes, definitely people come in like wanting something like, hey, I want to talk to somebody, and their spirit guide, they're like, no,
Yeah,
this is not what you need to hear.
right.
Like, it's what you want to hear. This is what we're going to tell you.
Exactly. And really what this is, it's not a performance, you guys. Like it really isn't. So the more open you are to receiving the information that's supposed to be coming through, the easier it's going to be for not only the psychic, but for yourself to actually receive the information. So we just want people to know that when they come in for psychic reading, be open, be respectful, and come in grounded. Don't come in, just drinking, you were drinking at lunch or whatever. Come in like sober with a clear head and ready to actually hear what needs to come through. Because trust me, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, it always makes sense down the road. Always. I've had so many people come in and give me confirmation about things I told them 6 months ago. And I know Jeffrey too, he's been getting a lot of confirmation recently from a lot of his clients too. That's pretty awesome.
It's a short story, really quick. And to end the reading is I put a couple's reading. The woman was like, "Is there anything you need to tell me?" And I just screamed out, "Start baking!" And she's like, "I've never baked a day in my life." I found out a year and a half later, she now has her own porch-side bakery. Is making pretty good money at it. And it's just like, certain things may not resonate in the moment, but how things unfold and blossom and bloom after the reading is actually pretty spectacular to like watch and have it and see happen.
Right, right. So, Relic, how can a client prepare themselves for a psychic reading? And let's do this as somebody who has never done a psychic reading before.
Okay, so I think step one is take everything that you've learned about psychic readings from movies and media and TV and throw that completely out the window. Because media in general does a really terrible job at portraying psychic reading practices and arts and all that. So yeah, I would say like really remove your expectations, especially the ones that have been colored by movies and TV and media and stuff like that. Even social media and documentaries about psychics sometimes are edited in a way where they just are not a realistic portrayal. So again, just go into it with an open mindset. And I think that all right, so there's going to be two groups of people that are going to come in. Sometimes you really just don't know why you come in. And you just know you've been called to come in, get a reading. You do not have any specific question. In that case, like Jeffrey said, that's okay. We could work with that. We will just come from a place of, we want to know what you need to know right now for your best interest. That's totally okay if you don't have a specific question. However, if you have a specific question, I really think you owe it to yourself to put that energy out into the space. Say it out loud. Let the reader know. Let your guides know. Let your higher self know what you are looking for advice and guidance on.
Even if it's embarrassing.
Yeah, even if it's something that's embarrassing, because a lot of times, like I've done readings where they're like, no, I just want to know what comes through. Then you're 2/3 of the way through the reading and they're like, well, I actually really want to know about this, career opportunity, or I want to know if I should leave this person I'm dating and, go be single for a while. Then the real question comes out. So don't be afraid to just ask the real question. Like whatever it is that you really want advice on, just say that, ask that upfront out loud. We heard it all. Doesn't matter what it is. That will help us kind of, filter what comes through that lab.
Like these readings, 30 minutes goes by very fast.
Yes.
True. 30 minutes is a freaking blink. 20 minutes is like a half a breath. And so here's the thing: if you know some specific things you want to come in with, let us know right up front at the beginning of the reading before we even start the time. And then it's like when you come in, it's just like you want to put your toes in the ether and see what we pick up on what's swimming around you. It's kind of like trying to unpackage a Barbie or a Ken doll. We got to take the plastic off. We got to pull the box out. We got to get all the little twisty ties and things off. That's half your reading.
I'm gonna use my onion reference layers.
Yes. And so it's like, it takes us a little while to peel things back to like start working and getting your energy to flow with us to figure out what's going on. But if you come in like with specific questions, and that's what people kind of get a little freaked out about, is like they want to see if we're setting, they want to test us a little bit, they want to see if we can pick up on things. But then half the time,
And that's
I
already
say,
killing the vibe.
yeah, and I say, here's the thing: if you coming in for a psychic reading, if you give me a little bit of information, I can give you a lot more back.
Hmm.
It's already like I don't have to scratch the surface. I'm like into the meat of the reading already.
Right, right. And also know too that during readings, when the psychic or the medium is kind of pausing in between, just know that that's normal. We're not sitting there trying to guess anything. We're not sitting there trying to go, I wonder what I should say next. No, there's a lot going on in our minds and our third eyes that you're not aware of at all. So when there's pauses in between the reading, or throughout the reading, especially with mediumship too, like respect that because that is the reader and the psychic tapping into the energy and connecting and trying to hear, see, feel whatever they're connecting to is trying to tell them.
You
as
definitely
well.
have to adjust the gravitors on the TV every now and then. But sometimes it's literally like I'm listening to one of your guys tell me something,
Right, right,
and like it's like it's another conversation that you can't see or hear.
right.
So
And
Right.
trust me, we're not crazy.
Also, different readers will receive messages differently. So, like, I know Jeffrey gets a lot of clairaudience. You'll literally like hear words sometimes. A lot of other readers, myself included, tend to get more like clairsentience or claircognizance. It's just kind of a knowing, and then you have to take that knowing and kind of translate it into words that will make sense to the person sitting in front of
Right.
you. So, yeah, there's a little bit of like translating happening in the brain sometimes before you can offer that message to the person. And then just to backtrack a little bit, also on the like asking the question, just to reiterate and drive it home, like if there is something specific, ask whatever it is that you really want to know about, because also some, at least for me, and I know probably for other readers, like I might lean on a different tool or use a slightly different spread or use a slightly different method for certain questions. If you have a question about when something's going to happen, I might use a different deck. Or if you have a question about relationships as compared to like more material, real world stuff as compared to more like soul purpose, life purpose, that's to me that I'll end up leaning on different tools or different like ways of using them. Again, just to drive it home. Ask whatever it is.
and about different styles, like I got a reading from a woman, she gets spiritual confirmations by Bergen.
Actually, I've heard of that before.
Like I knew another one that got hiccups. It's like literally like spiritual Tourette's. But it's like it's the actual like verification they're on something, they're on the right energetic path. So it's like things like everybody, all readers have their own style. It's like I'm a big rock and crystal guy here at the center. We have people that are really, really good at astrology. Mike's our rune guy or relic, as we like to call him sometimes. And that's just like we all have our niches. Like each psychic you get involved and see is an artist in their own way, their own
Right.
style, that's that they use and the tools that they're going to bring forth the information. And usually if you're getting a reading from them, like your spirit guides, your ancestors have like energetically aligned you to see them because they're the one that has the best message for you. So it's like
Right.
trust your instincts when you're going in.
Yeah, yeah. You're not going to sit there and vibe with every single psychic you come in contact with. You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that leads us to a really important question that a lot of people find themselves faced with, and they walk through the door of the psychic center here or anywhere for that matter, is how do you pick the reader, right? So say you go to a center like this, we got, what we have a dozen people or more, I don't know.
So you have about
Yeah. So we have a dozen different people. If different people here each stay, so you come in, you got some choices, right? So how do you pick? I always encourage people to trust your own intuition, right? Let's like just be quiet, be still for a moment, listen to your own inner wisdom, listen to your heart, right? Who speaks to you? Who are you drawn to? That, in my opinion, hands down is the most powerful way to pick. Sometimes you can help narrow the field down if you're looking for something specific, like if you want, palm reading or astrology or rune casting or something very specific, there might only be one or two people that might help narrow it down. But Generally, I think the best way to do it is just kind of cust your own inner compass.
Right. And I think we have quite an awesome crew here. We have everybody kind of does a little bit of something. So there's no slim pickings here, pretty much. You know,
We're all very honest in what we do.
we're all in integrity here.
Very, very much so. In that integrity, sometimes books tell you the things that you don't want to hear. And kind of in that, because that's the message that's coming through in certain areas. It's kind of like that, then certain things that people are like, well, I want to talk about this with her when I'm doing media shit. And that person I'm connected with, like, she doesn't care. She doesn't want to talk about that. I can't make that. But it's also like sometimes when the messages come through, like things that may not resonate. But also it's like, we do get people that come in here and you can tell that they've seen like 3 other readers of town already. And it's just like they're not liking the message. I'm like, the same card keeps coming up. And we're not taking care of it. But like, there's people who want to try and see like the test of the reading sometimes by going about to different readers. So I don't know, what do you guys think about that kind of stuff?
I mean, to me, it's almost more like they're testing spirit, like they're trying to get all
Yeah,
the
not
different
necessarily.
all the different readers to prove to them that God exists or something. Which,
And they see all the good ones and tell them the exact same
Yeah.
thing. And they're like,
Yeah.
what the?
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think in general, you should try to avoid getting multiple readings that address the same issue. It's to me, that's like shaking the 8 ball again, right? Like you didn't get the answer that you wanted, so you're just gonna shake the thing and see if you get a different answer.
Well, I think this is where accountability comes in for the person.
Yeah.
You know, be accountable. Like if you're getting the same thing from 3 different readers in the same day, then, you know, you should really kind of sit down and be like, well, maybe I should pay attention. Or there's my closure and I just need to accept that for what it is and move on. You know, you're not always gonna get like what we have been saying.
Spirituality. I can't a spirit anymore at all.
Yeah.
Like, should I go out tomorrow night? No, stay home. I'm like, I'm going out. Spirit said no. But they tell me to use it. They tell me to talk about something with a client. It's like, this is the difference between what you want to hear and what spirit needs you to hear.
Right. And kind of going into the emotional aspect of reading. It is okay to cry. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel your emotions during the reading. That's part of the process, to be honest with you. If you're sitting there like a stone cold wall and not, you know, anything, then you're really not ready to go through the process with whatever the reading's for. And you're wasting everybody's time, the reader's time, your time, and, you know, and everybody else that's involved. So, you know, always keep in mind too, like we are putting our time and energy into this to give you the message. Again, if you are not ready to hear it, well, don't hear it.
And sometimes in readings, like spirit won't let us tell you what you want to know.
Right.
They want you to figure it out yourself.
I get that a lot with spirit guides.
Yes.
When people are like, I want to know who my spirit guide is, I'm seeing them clear as day. I'm hearing them clear as day. And as soon as I go, what's your name? They go, nope. That's something for them to connect with me and figure out themselves.
They have to have that journey. They have to walk that road.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times I have gotten like initials or I've gotten like, you know, some type of sign. And I'm like, well, this is what I'm getting. So you do what you need to do with the rest of it. So for instance, when I was trying to come up with my name I wanted to work my magic under, I asked my spirit guides and they gave me Scrabble pieces. I had to go through like 20 different ways of how my name was going to be. And I ended up with MA. And as soon as I said MA, my spirit guide was like, that's it.
And this kind of had some like some of like with the Hollywood concepts of stuff. Like people wanting to come and like, what job should I do that's going to make me happy for the rest of my life? And I'm like, I can't do that. I could, because it's like sometimes you have to really talk to your future self. You're into flying planes. It's like, I'm scared of flying. I'm the future. That's it's just like you won't even believe that about yourself. It's like you have to discover that. It's also like something else I was trying to say with that. It's just like sometimes like we do get direct messaging.
Yeah.
What's the name of the man I'm gonna marry? Larry. I heard Larry put it.
I mean, I've even seen like features of how somebody looked.
And so and sometimes you do get stuff like that, and it is very, very, very magical. But that's not an daily thing. A lot of times it's kind of like it's gonna be 2 years from now, in the spring. That's all I can pick up on. That's when you get listened to it. You forget about it until it actually happens, and then people go back and they remember the reason, like, oh my god, that's what they said. There it is.
Yeah, that's a good point on the reflection over the time too. Is that a lot of readings, at least part of the reading, might not make sense right away. Even for myself, when I do readings, I know sometimes like you got to sit with it. You got to take some time to kind of digest it, take it in, let it make sense. And sometimes things will come up later in life that will kind of help you connect the dots.
Especially after the reading and if you get a lot of information.
And here's the thing. One of the things that I call the B&B of the psychic reading, validation and verification. A lot of what people get when they come in here and get any kind of reading is a lot of validation, verification, because they've already been thinking, been feeling, that they just kind of like have known. It's like this undercurrent where they're too afraid to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, this is what's going on. They're like, oh my God, I'm completely right. And it just helps people get out of their own way.
Right.
And make confident decisions moving forward. I say that's probably the most valuable thing that I do with the psychic is you get people validation and verification of what they're experiencing in life isn't just them and it's not just in their head.
Right. Right. We like to have you walk out of that door more in your power than what you were when you walked in, pretty much. And not ego, but more just like understanding and going, okay, this is what I have to do to get to where I want to be.
Or I'm not crazy. What I was thinking was true of this person.
Correct. Yeah.
Adam totally like picked out my situation.
Yeah. Also kind of going back a little bit too. So like the yes and no questions, you can still ask them, but also don't obsess over them. Also with timeline questions too. Like, yes, we can give you a timeline, but it doesn't mean that can't change.
Oh my God, so much stuff is such a change.
It is like not everything is written in stone, okay, when it comes to the readings, because again, you have free will, you have choices to make, and whatever choices you make can change the trajectory of where you're going on your path with whatever it is you're going down. Like, don't obsess over like timeline questions or yes or no questions, because again, all of that can change.
Yeah, don't underestimate your own ability to influence your own situation and outcome. I think what divination tools do is show you the direction you are headed. Like it's like I said, it's not set in stone. It's not like there's the ironclad fate that can't be escaped. It's always kind of this is where you're going. If you don't do anything different, then that's probably where you're going to end up. But if you change the direction, steer the wheel of the ship a different direction, you're going to end up somewhere else. So.
And a lot of times when people want to know stuff about, like, I do get people come in like, I've got my house up for sale. What is it going to sell?
I've had that one a lot.
Like, so like, and I've been, or is my business going to sell? Or like, when is this going to happen? And like, I do get very positive feedback that my predictions were exceptionally accurate. Mm-hmm. But also sometimes like, when am I going to fall in love? The spirit just told me until as soon as you stop obsessing about it.
Right.
Like,
here's another one I've gotten quite a bit. Yo, come on, really. Now, I can understand from a certain perspective because I know that can be hard on people, and things like that. But also at the same time, like, nobody wants to predict death. Like, nobody does. Like, that's not
correct.
Something that I can predict when you're going to die. No, let me tell you, when you signed your contract before you came down to this planet, you already chose when you were going to die, when and what time.
And here's the thing, again, sometimes we do get weird specific stuff that comes.
Yes.
So it's like, don't be afraid to ask, but if we don't give you the exact answer, it's like the love one, the big one. Honestly, it's like, it's going to happen when you stop looking for it. That's what I just heard.
Mm-hmm.
And love isn't the only thing that happens when it comes to energy. And that's sometimes where again, spirit guys are blocking the answer on that one. It's like you got the work that you're going at.
Right. A lot of times when people ask about potential future romance, cards or rings will come out for me that are like self-work stuff. Oh, you need to work on yourself. It's like they're trying to put the cart before the horse. And again, that goes back to that. It's not always what you want to hear. It's what you need to hear in the moment. So you really just have to be open and trust that your guides, your higher power, your higher self is going to bring the message through that you need to know in that moment. And that's why you got to, kind of take some time and sit with it
And a
sometimes.
good reader will have that professional etiquette
Yes.
to like be like, no, I'm not here about it. Your spirit guide do not want to talk about that situation. They're not looking for that what they're looking for.
Right. And that's kind of getting into the last part of this episode here is reader etiquette. Everybody needs to realize we're human too. Uh, so
Very much so. We
we
still stub our toes.
yeah, we have good days, we have bad days. Honestly, for me, when I'm not feeling it, I don't read that day. I don't. I'm not going to sit there and try to push through it, and um. So for readers out there, take what you will from this. It is what it is. But you, as the reader, you control the room. You control the energy of that room. And if you are sitting there in chaotic energy, not grounded, not open to receive the messages from spirit, then hey, guess what? The whole reading's going to go to crap. It is. I've witnessed it myself with readers in the past. I've even seen this stuff on TikTok, of like reader just kind of pulling things out of their ass. Like really. And I guess I'm saying that to kind of show the truth. I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm just speaking what I've seen and also experienced myself. So as a reader, you want to make sure that, you are in the right mind frame, the right energy to be able to give that reading in good energy and integrity as well.
And a good reader, like, shouldn't need to see you every week for like the next 6 minutes.
Right. Right. If you feel like you have to contact that reader every week for validation or almost out of fear, that's not.
Or if they're saying that there's something on you that you can't get rid of, but maybe you're going to take care of it.
Yes,
That
that's
is
that.
Spirit does never put anything in front of you or allow anything to attack you that you're not going to learn how to take care of yourself.
Right. Right.
And anybody that's saying like you need me to protect you or any kind of that kind of like spammy con other stuff. And here's the thing, as Mike has said, like we are all intuitive. We all have instincts. If you're in a read, it feels really off. Like it probably is. I mean, there's a difference between that and like my mom says psychics are like devil worshippers. And this is my first time getting a reading. I'm a little nervous. That's different energy than, oh my God, this person is really creeping me out. But because like just like a creepy dude at the shopping mall or like the grocery store, they just like you get that creepy feeling, something feels off. Like notice that, pay attention to that.
Also,
Just trusting. That's like I was saying, when you're choosing a reader, you got to trust your own intuition, and that's not just in a sense of like who to go to, but also sometimes who to stay away from. So
yeah.
if you're getting it just that internal red flag, energetic feelings, that is the reason why that's coming up.
Right. And another couple of things to look out when you're choosing a reader. If you're in a reading and this reader is talking about themselves in the reading, and that's all they're doing is talking about themselves. Well, I've done this and I've done that. That's not why you're there. You're there to get a reading for yourself, not hear about the reader's life. Also, readers need to learn how to respect client boundaries and their emotional state. I've seen people who are not emotionally okay trying to get a reading, and it's all chaos. So, make sure that, again, you are in charge of the room. You are in charge of the energy, so you need to be aware of how that client is, if they're mentally okay, emotionally okay, if they're ready to move forward to their next question, and things like that. So you have to also know to like pause and redirect and,
And as a reader working here, I know you guys have dealt with this, like people coming in and sitting down across from the table, but I'm here to see you. Like
yeah.
I saw your photo, I was drawn to you. And so there's in that as a reader that like you need to take that commitment seriously. Like that's
Right.
like someone who like you're energetically aligned to give them some help, give them a message.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's one of the cool things that are like people have come in and said they ended up in my reading room in so many different weird ways. Like it's kind of it's just like the norm now, but it's like trust your instincts when it comes to this. Let's be surprised how we can really be guided to the right way to do that at the right time.
Yeah, one other thing to backtrack a little bit on like red flags, I would say in general, especially in online settings, but even in person too, if the reader is approaching you out of the blue, offering services, in general, that's a red flag right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Walk up to a random person or send a random DM to somebody saying, Spirit wants me to get a message to you. I'm just not.
Like, this is Sedona. People come up to you at the gas station and say they have to make them save their life.
So, yeah. So in general, and I mean, that almost goes for any services, right? Like if people call you up out of the blue offering you some service over the funnel, it's probably better to go find it service elsewhere where they are not so desperate that they have to call people to hunt down customers.
Right. Pretty much when you're ready, you are going to do the searching, not
Yeah.
the reader.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That's it. And probably most proliferant in online space, but in general, yeah, you should be seeking them out, not the other way around.
Right. So overall, guys, like readings really flow when there's like a mutual respect between the reader and the client. A lot of readers who are in their integrity are going to be very honest, and really bring out the information that is supposed to come forward for you in that moment of time, whether it is or is not what you want to hear. So the more spiritually, emotionally, mentally you are open and prepared, the easier that reading is going to be for everybody. I'm not saying to make it easier on the reader because the reader's going to get information regardless, but it's also going to make it easier on you to be able to understand what messages are coming forward for us. You guys want to
Just like, don't be frantic. Kind of be able to sit still and kind of like
be present?
be present.
Yeah.
And we have episodes about spiritual hygiene and grounding and clearing techniques. You know, just keeping your favorite, bringing the favorite crystal of the reading. Kind of like, I'm definitely would like to hear about that. If you know, smudge yourself with incense or sage or Palo Santo to just really clear your energy up as well. There's just simple little things that, again, you put a little bit of extra effort into it, like, especially when it comes to like media and shit. Like, don't come in for a reading and be like at the end, like, I was really hoping my branch will come through. It's like, we are out of time. Like, no, we can't go. Like, and here's the other thing, like, when it comes to me and doing media and shit, like, if you want this person to come through, like, you're coming to Sedona, you know, you're going to get a reading, you invite them to the GD.
Right. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, you threw a party, but you didn't invite any of your friends, but you're trying to like see how much they love you if they're just really going to show up anyway. So, but it's like put that energy out there to those individuals that, hey, I really want you to come through. Like, I'm going to date, really will help you hair and things like that. And you can do that with other things you have, and it's like spirit guides and that.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I always have the client at least take a moment to just kind of send like energetic invitation to their own guide,
Like a Hogwarts letter.
higher self. Yeah.
Cooler than that. Way cooler than that.
But yeah, I think that's important. And then take some time to, sit in quiet contemplation and reflection afterwards, right? Like I think it's important to take some time and reflect. Other than that, I don't know. Come into the center and see us if you're here in Sedona. 7 days a week, I'd say.
7 days a week, y'all. 7 days.
Very old night. Very old night.
And really though, every day we have like different readers. So again, there's like no slim pickings here. And we also do phone, Zoom. We even do Google Meets, by the way. So
And I will say, like, people that come in here to readings, like, it is a good holiday spirit. A lot of laughter, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of like, I feel really good, like walking out the door. It's definitely like, try it once.
dip your toes in the water.
Exactly.
Or just pop in, just come in and stand in the building and see how that.
Yeah, right.
You'll feel it as soon as you walk in. It's handleable. So plus we got lots of cool crystals in the lobby. Been in to see those, quite impressive. Yeah.
Cool, guys.
Come by, say hi.
If you have any questions or anything, please comment on the video. Also follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. New year, new goals. So you'll be seeing our beautiful faces even more with the podcast and everything. We're also going to have different guests on here as well. Quite a few readers here from the center and possibly some other people from the outside as well.
Yeah,
We're getting there. We're getting
Yeah.
there. That's definitely going to happen down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're even in a different room.
Yes, we even have different backgrounds here, everybody. Yes. Well, I am MA. I am signing off. Stay magical, everybody.
Jeffrey, just peace. You all have a good day, and see you guys down there.
All right, I'm Rel. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you next time.
Ciao, ciao.